In case you haven't noticed yet, a lot of the developed world is currently struggling for various reasons. And as the world enters into a period of economic uncertainty, it looks like it's only going to get worse before it gets better. But why is this the case? What's making these usually stable countries on the verge of collapse? Is it something that could be fixed and even reversed? And if so, what are the solutions? Well, let's find out. Before we go into why developed economies seem to be stagnating or even collapsing, we need to first learn a bit about the world economy. You see, what we refer to as the world or global economy has evolved over time. Thousands of years ago, it was basically just trade between states around the Middle East like ancient Egypt and Sumeria. Then it expanded to include India and China with their innovative Silk Road initiative, which accounted for nearly half of all global trade. It wasn't until the Middle Ages, when the first accounting and finance systems were developed in Italy, that precious metals and then paper began to be traded as currency across nations. This was the catalyst for a new age of the global economy, the pseudo-capitalist age. An age that has ushered in great prosperity in the past, but seems to be causing the economic problems a lot of countries face today. In this video, we're going to use the British economy as an example of what happens when a string of poor policies are implemented and defended in a capitalist system. For many years before and during the 19th and early 20th centuries, Britain was arguably the world's financial superpower. Coming off the gains from the Industrial Revolution, where they became known as the workshop of the world, they were able to grow their economy by a significant amount. But they quickly began to pivot into other areas as countries like the United States and Germany started to expand their own manufacturing industries. This was the world's most industrialized economy, consciously deciding to deindustrialize. This was due to one key reason. As the living standards of the average Brit improved, less people wanted to work in the factories and mines, so it became more expensive to run industries as there was less manpower. This feedback loop led to the decline of British industry. And within the blink of an eye, Britain moved from being the workshop of the world to a service-based economy. And this was one of those decisions that would lead to the decline they currently face today. In recent years, the average British citizen has seen the quality of their life drastically decline. More people are homeless on the streets, people can't afford energy, crime rates are really high, immigration policies are all over the place, and who can forget dear old Brexit? The European economy hasn't been the same since the 2008 financial crisis. Apart from a few outliers such as Norway and Switzerland, a majority of European nations are yet to hit the productivity levels they showed before the crisis. And this includes Britain, who, whether they like it or not, are affected by trends in the general European economy. The financial crisis wasn't the only thing to hit Britain, though, as the fallouts from Brexit seem to be having their effects. You see, when Britain was under the EU, they had access to some of the most skilled workers and trade routes from across Europe for free. With Brexit, this access was greatly hampered, and it spelt further doom for an already dwindling industrial sector. To compensate this, Britain has turned to other places to get migrant workers, such as from the Commonwealth nations. But the value per capita extracted from these non-EU migrants from developing economies simply can't be as high. This has led to an oversaturation of migrants who are mid to low skilled and accept lower pay, and this has led to a further drop in productivity across the board. Britain also has a big housing problem, but contrary to what you might think, it's not a rising cost problem, but a falling one. You see, the price of the average home in Britain dropped by 4.6% in August, the largest drop since the financial crisis, as the effects of the interest rate hikes continue to show. This is good for people who want to buy new homes, but very bad for people who have mortgaged their houses at higher prices. The domino effect of this could be really huge on the British economy. Fun fact, Britain's slowing economy has been reported to cost households up to £1,500 a year. And although they might have avoided recession for now, it's going to be very difficult to avoid the next couple of years under current situations. The solutions to these problems Britain is currently facing aren't going to be easy. For starters, the British government probably needs to address the housing crisis, especially private housing. Private homes are meant for living in and not speculation. Reducing the power of private hands to speculate and raise or drop private home prices should be high on the agenda of any government hoping to curb homelessness. Britain also needs to revive some of their industries. In today's economy, if you don't make stuff, you need to have a lot of mineral resources. Britain barely has either, so they need to find a way to improve their overall productivity in the coming years. No one really knows what will happen to the British economy, but if productivity levels don't pick up fast, it's hard not to see a recession for Britain in the coming years. So what do you think about the state of the British economy? Are their problems being exaggerated, or are they truly on the verge of economic collapse? Please let us know in the comments below.